Hi, my name is Michael Campbell. I'm the Executive Director of Westwords. We're Western Sydney's literature development organisation. And what that means is that we develop writers through workshops, residencies, fellowships, professional opportunities and creation of career pathways. We develop audiences through public programs, festivals, promoting the stories, writers and writing emanating from Western Sydney. And we develop the art form through exploring, investing and developing new forms of literature at the intersections of kind of diverse cultural traditions and or new technologies. We have a very extensive schools program, which we have been running over many years now. Generally speaking, over the past 3, 4, 5 years, we've been working between into 28 to 47 schools, including last year in lockdown, because we did most of our work virtually. So we do in person and virtual. What we do is, at its core, is that we bring professional writers into schools in customized programs of engagement to complement work done by teachers. Look, when we try to explain this, how we try to say it is that, you know, if you're doing sports, you could bring, and you're teaching athletics, you could bring the coach from the regional athletics organisation, Little Athletics, along. However, and the kids would have a wonderful time, they'd learn heaps, that have brilliant. But what we do instead is that into maybe a school which has a high Aboriginal population, we'll bring in Cathy Freeman. And that's no overstatement, because what we do is that the writers we bring into school, and we work with over 100 writers per year, we bring in writers of that kind of caliber. We bring in people like Jasmine Seymour and Leanne Mulligan-Watson, who just won the Children's Prime Minister's Literature Awards. Yeah, so that's the caliber of people we bring in. And we think that that makes a huge difference, even at a beginning stage. We work with over 15,000 people per year. We also, so some of the things that we offer and we're offering through, excuse me, I'm just pulling it up, through EduLinks, is we are offering a number of different programs. One of the programs, which is a really wonderful little workshop, but is postcards from a stranger. And it's about using a postcard stimulus to bring an imagination to a postcard, so from a visual stimulus, and to create a story and a character out of that. And so, for example, from Sunset Celebration of Literature, wow, what a resource. It's so simple, but I can see that it's going to help these kids so much. We have podcasting equipment, and we run podcasting workshops, over 180-minute workshop with a professional writer and producer to take students through the basics of putting together a killer podcast, choosing subject, planning, writing, recording, editing and publishing, and we can bring in our own pop-up studio. We teach creative writing workshops from people like Melina Marquetta, AJ Betts, Jacqueline Harvey, Tim Harris, Deborah Bella, Fiona Wright, James Wright, Chloe Higgins, David Malouf, Isabel Carmody, and they are customized to the school timetable. We also offer writer in residence programs. Generally speaking, we run that in 5 sessions across 5 to 10 weeks, but that can be shorter or longer. And that's around building a story and editing a story over a good period of time. And you can see the benefits of that. Quite often that finishes up in a publication. And we aim to do a publication which is of the standard of a book in a bookshop. And you can see examples of all our things on our website, westwords.com.au. And the final one is that we teach writing to teachers. So as a teacher, you want your students to learn from the best. And so this will mean that we will be able to help the teachers learn from the best, so that it will be guiding through the processes of people to perfect their craft, offering tips, shortcuts, resources, etc. Yeah, anything really. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. I thought I'd give you a bit of extra time there because they're cutting out. Yeah, Rose, you definitely like to chat to you about the podcast workshop. So I think you've got interest there.
Fantastic.
I've not had, even from my experience, we've not come across many people doing podcasts. So I think that's something that's really beneficial. I guess from a teaching standpoint, have you found with the work that you've done over the years, have teachers asked you about things like NAPLAN and HSC? I mean, I hate to, not that anybody really likes to talk too much about that, but has there been any kind of tracking in that sense, especially with some of the residency stuff that you do? Or I just thought I'd throw that kind of question out there.
Simple answer to that. We started an engagement with the Ponds High School with a writer in residence program and building up their skills. And that was over Tenantly, the Blacktown Mayoral Creative Writing Prize. It was completely separate, completely blind, the competition. Those kids got about 1/3 of the prizes just from that group. That also went directly into the standard of their marks. And that's the feedback from the teachers, from the assistant principal who has got oversight of English, and that they've seen the rise and the sheer understanding of the craft. So by bringing the professional process within the needs of the school, we provide that sort of the creative writing that seems to be so lacking at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the case. And the only other kind of quick thing I was going to ask is if you've seen from the schools, if you've seen any transfer in terms of sort of analytical writing or into literacy kind of more broadly.
We do right across the board. Yes, the simple answer is yes. We cover all forms of writing, so it's not just creative writing, it's discursive, it's screenwriting, it's for performance, it's for all the analytical stuff, it's for the technical writing, it's right across the board. And that's where, when you're talking a writer in residence or a workshop, we chat about what do you need, what's the potential, let's work through the pragmatics, let's work out the exact thing, program that you need, and then we find the profile of the writer and get that person in, so we bring you the best.
Awesome. All right. Well, yeah, that's answering all the questions I think and most people would be curious about. So thanks so much for the time, Michael. Now,